What's up? I'm going to be reviewing one of my best trades of the month. I took it on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, and I made $1,800. That's USD, and being Canadian, that's quite a lot of money. So, as you can see here, it was a short off NQ. My R multiple was 3R, but my planned R multiple was 3.72. So starting off, my first trade, this trade was very well executed. Entered off a strong cumulative delta and interest of value area high and on volume area or volume profile, sorry. This trade played out great since CVD was bearishly strong. Price action looked like it reacted bearish at my level of interest. Only thing I wish I would have done was be more patient with my exit. I liked this trade. Everything about it was good. Just could have been more patient. As you can see here, on the left side, I gave it a 4.5 star rating, and my entry was because of my strategy called volume reversal. So here's my playbook. So my entry criteria for this trade was it was rejecting an area of volume. Was delta working for me in favor or in my favor? Did I have reasonable stops for the trade? And did I enter at that area of interest? I did all of those. My exit criteria, I exited at 2R or more. Yeah, I exited at 3R. Did I manage risk accordingly? Yeah. I dragged stops to break even after price moved to a certain level I knew it wouldn't reverse. But did I exit at a price where it rejected a level? No. I exited preemptively, thinking that it would flip up automatically. Starting off, just looking at the chart and, the beginning of the trading day, I can see that the 15-minute looks like it's rejecting the downside, when in reality, there's a lot of sellers kicking in, as you can tell by volume. On top of that, if you look at the 22 range, you can see that we're also slow rolling with delta. Same thing with the 1 minute. On top of that, you can see that there definitely is a stronger bearish side to this, as you can see the difference between these lower highs and higher lows are a lot bigger on the 1 minute as well. So in this scenario, what I was looking for was a retrace back into around VWAP and stops above these highs targeting the lows. This was where my entry was. I had a sell limit at these 1 minute highs. On top of that, I also had the 22 range as confirmation because you can see that price previously ranged around this level, which would also be a nice entry because it'd give me a nice stop and also a good place to target the lows. That's exactly what happens. On top of that, the reason why I took this trade is because the 15-minute looks like it wants to dump. And it's crazy. As well as volume profile, having a lot more volume. It also adds to that as well. So this is when my trade gets ticked in,
Order filled.
stops at the high, targeting value area low here. And you can see that on this trade, I have zero drawdown. I had no drawdown on this trade. I had a top tick entry, which I found amazing. The price never ended up going back to where I was. But looking off the reaction off that high, I liked it. Not only does it look like we're rejecting VWAP, which is this blue line here, where it also shows that sellers are even stronger than before. Same thing with delta down here and delta right here. As you can see, we have a divergence, or a little divergence, because this high on that level is a lot lower compared to this. You can see that this is flat and this is more on a slant. So I definitely think that sellers are going to be more in control, which is why I shorted the position and not looked for buys, because I know many people that would have bought the lows if we were to retrace on the 15 and look for the buy up. But the reason why I didn't do that was mostly because volume. To skip ahead, you can see that price never retraced, stops break even, taking out the lows.
Order.
And this is the one thing I was mad about. It's that I didn't wait for price to take my TP at 22296. Right? That would have hit, and on top of that, it also would have made new lows. And looking back, there was pretty much no reason for me to not stay in the trade. And the reason why is because if you look at the 5-minute, we are dumping hard, candlestick wise, and with this wick, it shows that we're rejecting off that level. On top of that, this is an area of low volume on the 5-minute. On top of that, you can see that there's a huge divergence right here, showing that buyers are pretty much dead, so sellers are in control on this trade. You can see that here on the 1-minute as well. But what I ended up doing was pretty much closing it at 50 points, more or less.
Order filled.
Yeah, closing at around 46 points. But what would have happened is that it definitely would have played out. Yeah. And made new lows on the day. And just this move here would have probably made me an extra $400 or $500. But then again, I still like this trade because if you were to look back, this was a new area of volume being developed. But then again, with Delta looking very strong bearishly, I don't know why I exited that trade early. I definitely could have held to the lows. But other than that, that was a good trade in my opinion, because that trade netted me around 1,800 USD, which is that much in Canadian. And I made that in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that was pretty fire. But yeah, that's about it. Monthly review probably at the end of the month. Too lazy to do a weekly review right now. And on top of that, I am doing okay for the month. Could be better, but that'll be, for another time.